we are very excited. One of Hollywood's most sought-after filmmakers is in the house today. Her name is Ava DuVernay. She's known for tackling issues around race relations in her work, including Selma, 13th, and When They See Us. Now, her latest film, Origin, is inspired by the book Caste by Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist Isabel Wilkerson. In the movie, it follows Wilkerson, played by Aunjanue Ellis, as she travels the world to discover the roots of racism and oppression in America. In this clip, Wilkerson is giving a speech about Nazi Germany. She tells the story of one Nazi Party member who refused to give the Heil Hitler salute because he was in love with a Jewish woman.
On this day, he folded his arms rather than salute a regime that deemed that love illegal. On this day, he was brave. He couldn't have been the only one who felt something tragic was happening. So why was he the only one among the men to not go along that day? Perhaps we can reflect on what it would mean to be him today. I'll leave you with that. Thank you.
I'll leave you with that. Ava DuVernay is here for her first broadcast TV interview about the movie. Good morning to you, Ava DuVernay.
Good morning, Gayle.
Vlad and I are so
Vlad.
excited.
Yes.
Vlad went to the premiere and he came back the next day and said, wait till you see the movie. It's Ava's masterpiece. But Vlad, you are not alone. Here's one review that says, rich in thought, Origin is a dense force masterwork and quite simply the most radical film of Ava DuVernay's career. Bravo, Ava, bravo. The accolades are pouring in for you all over the place. But I'm so struck by this movie because there's a great line in it where it says, you don't escape trauma by ignoring it, you escape trauma by confronting it. And you certainly did that.
Well, that's what history is, right? We have to take a look at what has happened in order to move forward more powerfully, more, I don't know, alive, I think. And so I love, whether it's Selma or 13th, I love just digging in and understanding how we got here. And that's the core of what Origin is about.
But it says that you read the book Caste 3 times to decide, because most people thought, hey, this can't be a movie, it's better as a documentary, but you saw something that nobody else did. What did you see?
Well, when people say it's an unadaptable book, you know, you just decide, let's just adapt it. But I was just fascinated by the material in it. I wanted more people to know about it. I know that that the film form is the loudest, most emotional art form to me. It is the way that we can really express the ideas emotionally if we do it visually. And so that was the goal, and we tried.
One of the things that you were...
And you succeeded.
Absolutely, beyond anybody's wildest imagination. But I think what was really fascinating is you centered Isabel, played by Aunjanue Ellis, at the center of the story. Because when you were looking at the book and trying to figure out how would you tell it narratively and cinematically, you said the one constant is Isabel, as she makes this journey from Trayvon Martin to the Holocaust to the Dalits in India.
Right. So the book is a book of philosophy, social history. It's a cultural thesis. It's a dense book. I was looking for characters throughout the book, and who I found that was the most prominent was the author herself. She would use the first person. She would talk about her research, and she started to rise from the pages. And so my idea was let the film have her walk us through her research in the book. And so basically the film is her gathering evidence about these historical secret arcs in history that we don't know are connected.
Yeah, but Howard, that's the thing that got me, Vlad.
Right.
That I hadn't thought about it that way, and I read the book when it first came out, but the way it comes across on the screen, it really shows you how they're all connected.
Yes.
So for people who haven't seen the movie and haven't read the book, how is it all connected? Because it really is.
Yeah, well, caste, as Isabel Wilkerson describes it, is a social hierarchy that determines your power and your status. And so when you apply that...
It doesn't have anything to do with race, necessarily.
You know, it's the foundation of all the isms, racism, sexism, homophobia, you know, anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, all the isms are undergirded by the idea of caste. Someone is better than someone else. Depending on a random set of traits, someone's better. And so that's her thesis. And so in the film, we look at 3 main areas: India, America and the American South in particular, and slavery, and we look at Nazi Germany, and we look at how those all intersect with that same foundation, someone being better than someone else. And the film just threads those together, so you start to see there's a unity to the things that are wrong, and there's a unity in looking at how to make it right if we know and we're using the right vocabulary, the right language. And let me correct that, not right, just it's a new set of tools to think about the things that are wrong. And that's what I think the film and the book provided.
Yeah, because one of the things that's really fascinating, as I was watching the film and thinking about the world that we're living in today and the things that are happening around the planet today, in the Middle East, here in the United States, I thought to myself, well, you know, this is such an important movie to come out at this point. I'm watching these horrific scenes of Jewish people in concentration camps and then juxtaposed with Africans coming to the United States in the slave ships. It was so powerful, and I thought, what do you want people to take away from the film about what is happening now?
You know what, more than anything, I want people to take away from the film a question of who am I now? This is a personal, internal review. This is what I hope the film offers. We can think broadly, we can think about society and culture, but ultimately, society and culture is made up of us as individuals, the way that we think, the way that we regard one another, what we believe. And so, you know, I'm constantly trying to excavate and explore my own beliefs and the way that I treat folk. And the film was an invitation for us all to do that.
Well, there was a very powerful thing towards the end where they said, listen, I wasn't there. I didn't have anything to do with slavery. I love this part. I didn't mistreat people in India. I didn't have anything to do with the Holocaust. Yet in the movie they said, yeah, but we are here now.
Yes, yes, yes. I mean,
you have to acknowledge that.
That's right. It's easy to dismiss it, say it happened in the past, but Isabel Wilkerson uses this beautiful analogy in her book. You know, America is like an old house. You know, when you move into an old house, you can't disregard the things that are wrong in it, or you can't live in it properly. You're not going to have a good life in the house. You have to fix the cracks. You have to go into the basement. You have to patch the roof. It's the same thing here. We need to look at these things, and we need to work together to fix them.
And Ava, the way you got this film made, bravo to Ava on this, because you didn't go the typical route. You became like a one-man machine.
Yes, a one-woman machine. Yes. Well, this film is about as opposite to a Marvel movie or a studio film as you can get. And so instead of wasting my time asking them, I just went out and talked to some folks at the Ford Foundation and other key foundations, Pivotal and Emerson, and said, can we make it together? So I went to philanthropists and people who are like-minded for the social good, and that's how the film got financed.
And now we got it financed, and now we want it to streaming.
America needs to see it,
Because it's in select theaters now.
It's in select theaters on January 19th.
Okay.
Around the country.
And young people can also take advantage of the Seat 16 program, which allows you to get tickets for 16-year-olds to go see
Yes, Seat 16, not Sweet 16, isn't it cute? Seat16.com. You can go on, buy a ticket for a young person, and they also get a 1-year subscription to Masterclass.
Was that your idea, too?
Yeah.
Ava DuVernay can do it all, folks.